Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well this morning. Must be the cold weather. Some little technical difficulties on this side of the screen. Let's get that music down. Come on. All right. Hey, good morning, everybody.
I hope everybody's doing well this morning.
There we go. Let's get this muted over here.
Must be the cold weather.
Coffee out of the way. Some little technical difficulties on this. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 1328. My name is Sean Murphy, your international speaker, your international trainer, your international brain warrior, and five-time #1 best-selling author. That and 25 cents get you a cup of coffee, maybe at a pancake surprise dinner. What makes me special? What makes me special is the ability to hear the things you're afraid to say to yourself. What makes me special are the things that allow you to have more of what you want, less of what you don't. And I teach you it in a very short order. I help people rewire their trauma in under an hour. I know that sounds bold. I know that sounds audacious, but it is. Here's the reality. I've been doing it for years, and I've been doing it with great success. And understanding that success isn't about me being able to check off boxes. It's about you being able to wake up and say, today I deserve more. Today I get to have more. Today I get to become more. See, that's what you deserve. I don't know what you've been thinking you need to do to deserve peace. You deserve to have comfort in your life. You deserve to be able to breathe without having stress in your chest and in your lungs. But that's what I believe. I believe you're entitled to all of that. I believe you're entitled to that in this lifetime, not the next. And this doesn't show up so well on YouTube, so I'm just unblurring it, right? Earned and not given. That's where you've already earned your pay. You've already earned your peace. You've already earned your joy. Today, the conversation is need to understand things about shame. Leadership requires you to understand shame. The challenge is most people, when they get into leadership, when they step into this place of power or authority, when they step into this place where people might listen to them, when they step into this place where people might pay attention to them, when they step into this place where they all of a sudden have a little bit of authority because they've earned income, they've earned title, they've earned rank, people all of a sudden start to listen to them. And then what they feel is they need to lead by discipline. They need to lead by force. They need to lead by example. And they need to lead by should. See, most people's conversations put other people in shame, let alone our own self-talk. The challenge with leadership is that nobody has been taught how to deal with shame, how to walk people through shame, how to become a consultant to shame versus being guilty. See, guilt that's the problem. Shame is I'm the problem. How many of you have ever said at your job, I just don't know it. I just don't. You put the I in it. See, here's where the shame comes in. This just hit me with affirmations. I am rich. And your brain goes, you're not rich. And you shame yourself at a subconscious level. How many of you have affirmations about I? Here's the big challenge is until you have dealt with your shame gremlin, your shame monster, your shame behemoth, every time you say, I am this, at an unconscious level, you are shaming yourself. And this is why affirmations don't work. This may sound bold. This may sound challenging. This may sound over the edge. I can promise you, when you understand the difference between shame and guilt, guilt is the problem. Shame is I'm the problem. Guilt will move you into action. Guilt will get your butt going. When your child says, why don't we have any money to go that I can go on the field trip? You'll get your ass in gear and you'll go find the money. See, that's guilt. You feel guilty. Y'all follow me? You feel guilty. See, the fact that I'm even talking about this to these amazing brains who are listening right now, these amazing, strong women, you have been shamed your entire life. No, I haven't. Okay. Do you ever put on mascara to go to a party? We call it addiction to approval. It sounds a lot nicer, addiction to approval. Right, Fiona? We call it addiction to approval. The reality is it's shame. And this is a tough topic. Here's the challenge. Two things are going wrong right now. One, I'm talking about shame. Two, it's a guy talking to you. The hell does he know about anything? I've been in the study of human development, human potential, human capability, human capacity. I haven't been in the study of man capacity, man capability. I haven't been in the study of women capacity, women capability. I've been in the study of human capability, human capacity. And when you understand how the brain works, yes, your brain is different than ours. Men are from Venus, men are from Venus, women are from Mars, or men are from Venus. Somebody's from some planet. I need you to sit right now. I need you to put your hand on your wrist. If you can feel your pulse, that'd be great. I just need you to feel you for a second. I need you to know that you are alive. And I need you to know that you've made positive change in the world right now. I need you to feel that. I just need you to know that you are awake, you are alive, you are this amazing, incredible human being who's got tremendous spirit and tremendous kindness and tremendous capacity. In all of these tremendousnesses, you also have a tremendous amount of capability and capacity for shame. You were wired for that. We were all wired for that. Women more, every time you did something, it was selfish, or you weren't in the clique and you felt shamed, or you weren't in the group and you didn't get asked to run the PTA and you got shamed. You didn't get asked to make your favorite brownies and you got shamed. You didn't have the right clothes in school. Drop a C in the chat if you didn't have the right clothes in school. Drop a C in the chat if you didn't, if guys, if you're on the basketball team, you didn't have the right shoes. I remember absolutely going to bed crying, asking my mom to get me the pump ups, right? To get the basketball shoes that had the Velcro strap at the top and the pump in the tongue that would tighten the shoes up. They were like $120 shoes. Are you kidding me? This is back in the 1800s before Nike existed. So you see all of these things, you see all of the, and then you're going to say today, right now in social media, you've not been shamed. You've not felt ashamed. You've not felt like you've been out. And here's the thing. When shame happens, you can't get into action for nobody's sake. And you're going to do your best. See, if here's the challenge with leadership, here's why 98% of the people fall short. Let me just put it bluntly, fail at their goals. The reason is because they're in shame trying to lead a whole bunch of other people in shame, and their shame runs down. All of their shames run down. All of their bad stories run down. All of their true stories run down. All of the stories of pain and suffering run down across the floor up to this one leader, and you become incapacitated. And you go into the witness protection program because you don't want to have your shame seen by others. This is called vulnerability. Your vulnerability gives us courage. But when you're the giver of vulnerability, when you're the doer of vulnerability, boy, it sure doesn't feel like that. You as a leader, you're going to have to up your vulnerability level. And it has to be true vulnerability. Not, when I was little, I had so many bad things happen. No. It's this, you have to break free from this. Not just talk about it, not read it like it's a script. And here's where the challenge is it's hard for people to talk about vulnerability without feeling shame. And then shame shuts them down and the shame gremlin comes along and all of a sudden you can't do anything. And you think, I'm the problem. Well, at that point you are, because your brain hasn't rewired the story. You have told the story so many times, the story's probably not even as true as you think it is. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but maybe it's not as bad as it was. See, here's the thing. If you think about what you had for lunch yesterday, the story has changed. The story has changed. I promise you in your mind. It can't not. Let me explain why. Fundamentally, scientifically, let me explain why the story has to change. Because you're in a different perspective than you were then. Did my voice crack on perspective? I'm going through puberty. Your ability to see that situation just yesterday changed. Because you're in a new place, you're in a new state, you're in a new location, you're in a new mindset. You follow me? So, and that's just thinking about it once. If you think about it twice and three times, you'll have a second version, a third version, a fourth version, a fifth version. You'll have all of these versions that exist because every time you look at it, it changes. It can't be the same because the position in time and space that you're looking at it from changes. That's if you just think about lunch yesterday. Now think about an emotional thing. Think about something that makes you feel bad, something that makes you feel terrible, something that makes you feel ashamed, that locks you up and turns you off and puts you in a corner in the fetal position that you don't want anybody to see that wound. Now, how well are you going to lead people? There's a phrase, a friend of mine, Kim Pothier, Real Talk Kim, says if you're not careful, you're going to bleed on people who never cut you. If you're not careful, you'll wind up bleeding on people who never cut you. And people who have wounds like to hang around people who have wounds. See, nobody's doing any healing. Leadership isn't doing any healing. If 98% of the population are still frustrated, aggravated, if the great resignation is happening, the great resignation can't happen if there's great leaders in place. Why would people want to leave good leadership? You follow me? Why would people want to leave good leadership? They don't. And then what happens is, and here's the next phase that's going to happen after this great resignation, there's going to be the big, I don't know what to do. There's going to be the big frustration because most people can't lead themselves in silent prayer. But everybody now wants to have their own gig economy and they want to work from home. I get it. There's a majority that will. 98% won't figure it out. So this is why you, the listener, you, the one following me, you, the one in my world, it's a requirement. It's such an easy possibility for you to become a great leader. I didn't say you would be a great leader. It's very possible for you to become a great leader. Because in the land of the blind, the man with one eye is king. It's not requiring you to be the Winston Churchill of our time, the Gandhi of our time, the Martin Luther King of our time. It's just requiring you to be a little bit vulnerable and be able to hear others' vulnerability and to say, I hear you, I see you, and without you crawling down into the hole with them, not knowing how the hell to get out. This is going to take a rewire for you. If you haven't rewired yourself, if you haven't had a session where you've actually come to terms with those tragedies, those traumas, those terrific things that have happened in your past, if you still talk about an old boyfriend, an old relationship, you talk about an old girlfriend that they're still on your mind and driving you crazy and driving you nuts, you're the one insane. They're not even in the room. If you still talk about something that happened to you in your teenage years, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but you're still talking about it like it happened today. That's a problem for you, not a problem for anybody else. It's limiting your capability and your capacity. I've had people come on lives and show up here on my live sessions, and in 5 minutes, 8 minutes, rewire something to give them an amazing quantum leap of freedom in their life. It's not that hard for me. I've been doing it for 40 years. It's not that hard for me. Wait a minute, you're 58, you're 57, since you're 17? Since a lot earlier. I coached the faculty basketball team in intramurals in high school. I used to have sessions in the teacher's lounge. I literally could get away with murder in my high school. Not that I did. I would sell donuts. I'd make 10, 15 bucks a day selling donuts to the teachers. Why? Because I understood life at a different level. So ever since then, I realized that people are stuck. Those who are doing amazing in the world have a lockup, a hang up. They just happen to be in a momentum business model. My question to you is when is it time for you to have your own momentum? Instead of getting the car going, you got the car out of gas going, and then somebody steps on the brakes. Something steps on the brakes. Some kind of fear, some kind of anguish, some kind of anxiety. And then you have to start over. You feel like you're starting over, but you're not starting over. You're starting from 15 paces back because you have beat yourself up. You have beat yourself up. You have beat yourself up. You have told yourself, why does this always happen to me? I'm not good enough. I can't deal with this. I don't understand this. This is never good. And why should I even try? If you've ever uttered the words, why should I even try? Drop a W in the chat. And listen, don't do it so that you can get a gold star and somebody goes, oh, see, they tried, they suffered. No, do it because you want to be vulnerable. You want to let this out. You need to let this out of your system. You need to let it out of your space, because the second that you decide that you've realized that why should I even try? If you've ever uttered those words, and if everybody doesn't drop a W in there, either you're driving and can't get to your phone or you're lying to yourself. I'm just telling you. And if I'm making you feel uncomfortable, welcome to the club. You're going to have to get through this uncomfortable phase until you think you're all that in a bag of chips. You are when you're in state. The challenge is you rarely get into state. So, Jess, let me have a conversation with you. You just mentioned you just got out of jail this weekend. First of all, I congratulate you for being that vulnerable. Second of all, whatever the reason for incarceration, we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss how you get through this the rest of the time. How, now that you've mentioned that, does everybody now not put a tag on you? They're going to put a tag on you. You know that. I don't know if this is the first time or it's been something has happened in the past that you've been there before. But here's what I know, Jess. The fact that you showed up here, the fact that you have this capability and capacity to mention that, you've now got to ask, what's the lesson? And I'm not talking about the lesson of why you got in it. What's the lesson that you've learned internally? How did you even make it through that? What level of fortitude, what level of strength do you have inside of you that allowed you to make it through that? I don't think it was a comfortable situation. I don't think it was a situation possibly where you were like, oh, thank God I'm here. Maybe not. I don't know. But I do know this. I know that you have this unique ability. You have this unique story that will give other people a chance to make decisions that might help them avoid that situation. I applaud you for sharing that here. There's people who their opinion of you may have changed because of that. They may cover their mouth and go, oh my gosh, she was in jail. Some of my best friends are felons. I say it tongue in cheek because they've learned how to get through it. So I would ask you, I would encourage you, I would give you a chance. There's a great book out there by Lynn Grabhorn. Lynn Grabhorn. And that book is called Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. I don't know if you want to get it. I don't know if you'll ever get it. But Lynn Grabhorn, Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. And all she's talking about is opening the valve and how what you need, what you want, it's right there. It's right next to you. It's as close as your skin. And if you need some rewiring, if you want some mind conversation, reach out to me in DM. I'm not going to listen to the story that got you in there unless that story, it's a repetitive story and we need to rewire something, then I'll help you rewire that. If you want more, you can have more. That's a conversation you have to have with you. If you want more, you can have more. And I'll offer you a chance to have a conversation. So that being said, breathe in and know that you're enough. In this moment, know that you're incredible, know that you're capable, know that you have capacity, know that you have incredibility, know that you are this incredible soul who has the chance to guide others. And I'm glad, and I'm glad you said thank you, because that means that I spoke to the part of you maybe some people might be a little bit hesitant to. I spoke to the part of you that said, okay, somebody hears me for the amazing human I am, not for the mistakes that I've made. Listen, that was this weekend. You have some incredible things to do this week, some incredible places to be, some incredible people to inspire, if that's your choice. And if that's your choice, then we probably should have a conversation. Because there's lessons in legacy. There's lessons from your past. And there's some things from your past maybe you don't want to repeat. Maybe there's some things that have been passed down generationally to you. And maybe you're the one that's going to break the status quo. They say if poverty has been in families for three generations, 60 years of the idea of poverty, the concept of poverty, the mindset of poverty, it literally rewires itself into the DNA, kind of like Darwinism. Only the strong survive. Well, only the strongest ones survive, meaning the thing that talks about the most survives. And if poverty has been taught, and poverty is taught, wealth is taught, poverty is taught, hatred is taught, love is taught, all of the things that we have, it's taught. They're instincts that are wired into us. And if it happens 3 generations in a row, it usually is wired into the 4th generation. And now it becomes habitual. Until somebody like you comes along and shows up on a call like this and says vulnerably, I just got out of jail this past weekend. I have some people, some of my best friends, 18 years, 11 years in prison, never been able to have a conversation, rewired in short order. And now they're on to amazing, incredible things. I've had people who were physically tortured from the age of 10, from the age of 4 to the age of 14 for 10 years, raped in the morning by their father and in the afternoon by their stepfather for 10 years. Rewired, able to talk about that. A young woman goes on a vacation down to Colombia, locked in a female prison in Colombia for 3 years, didn't speak the language. Left her 5-year-old child at home, didn't leave him at home, was locked in prison. Talk about a rewire. People who at the age of 15, 16 decided to have an abortion because that was the thing to do. Rewired. Why do I say all of this? Because some of your tragedies aren't anything compared to the ones I just shared. And now you realize, what am I complaining about? Some of you are sitting there going, that's nothing. You should hear mine. Until those things get rewired, until those things get undone, until those things get turned into fuel instead of fear, turned into freedom instead of frightened, it will be there the whole time, because at an unconscious level, you're having 80,000 thoughts a day, 70,000 thoughts a day. 80% of them are repeats from yesterday. And of those thoughts, the majority, 80, 70, 80% are negative conversations we're having about ourselves. Now, throw in something like the stigma of I went to jail. I don't know if it was I was probably 20 years old. Real sad story. It's not a sad story at all. It was a Monday morning, and the Tampa Bay Sheriff's Department knocks on the front door of the house and says, I have a warrant for the arrest of Sean G. Murphy. My mom freaked out. Now, it was the stupidest thing. It's because I listened to my older brother. But here's the point. It wasn't anything criminal, but I didn't show up for court for a time, so I had a bench warrant against me. What happened was we had the Florida Water and Game gave me a ticket because I didn't have the FL numbers on this little rubber boat we had. Okay, so he said and the FL was in the car. The FL plate was in the car, the Florida license plate for the boat. The little flap you hang on it. We didn't have stickers on the boat. Anyways, long story short, I said, dang it, I missed court. And my older brother, Jimmy, says, let them find you. Well, it's easy to find the people who have regular addresses. So I go down, get fingerprinted, I'm having fun with the whole time. And anyways, yes, I can laugh about it because it was nothing of any consequence. Then when I did have to go to court to go deal with all of that, that was a whole nother story that gratitude and law of attraction allowed me to get through that. And that's for another time. It's better to start now. And the reason that we can't laugh about it is because of shame. Guilt should make you say, well, I won't do that again. But shame says, see, I'm the problem. And that's where we get locked. That's where we get lost. That's where we get wired in, tuned in, and we keep repeating, I'm the problem. I'm the problem. And then we're told, go do an affirmation that says, I am rich. I am healthy. And you shame yourself at an unbelievable level that affirmations don't work. Ask yourself a QLQ, use science, use psychology, a quantum linguistic question. Who do I become when this story becomes fuel and not fear? Who do I become when I can use this story to guide others to a safer path? Who do I become when people ask me to tell my story because it inspires the masses? See, Einstein said the problems that are made with the mind of man or woman cannot be solved with the same mind that created them. A QLQ, a quantum linguistic question, forces you to open up to a new mind, to a new space. But see, you're not going to have anybody in the coaching world teach you that because they're just going to say, go for no, get over it. You're better than that. You should be doing this. You're okay. That happened to you yesterday. They don't understand how that's shaming. And yet you're going to call them my mentor. I'd encourage you to pay attention. Pay attention to the people that you follow. Pay attention to the people that you hang out with. Pay attention to the people that you listen to. Are they shaming you into possibly so much shame that you feel guilty? And guilt was what will put you into action. Shame won't. Pay attention to those people who, as they lead you, they become more and more not who they were when you started to lead them. So I hope that brings you value. Jess, feel free to DM me, reach out. We'll have a conversation. I'll do what I can to be of service. You have to decide if you want more. Okay? Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have an incredible Taco Tuesday. Hey, this conversation powered by ketones. If you want to learn about ketones and what they do for your brain and help you have better rest, better sleep, better focus, better decision-making capability and capacity, the ability to follow through on your decision-making process, because when your brain no longer has fog, when your brain has clarity, when you get a decent night's sleep, not the best night's sleep, when you get a decent night's sleep because you can finally rest your mind, check out what ketones do for your brain. And when you want to put your brain on ketones, reach out to me for a 5-day sample. This conversation powered by ketones, mental profits. Your thoughts create your income. All right, everybody. I love you tons. I appreciate you. I am your head brain training, shame avoiding, guilt understanding misfit. I'll see y'all where? At the next event. Till then, bye for now. YouTube, love you tons. Appreciate you. Have an incredible, fun-filled YouTube kind of day. Share this with somebody you know that will benefit from it. You know their name popped up 3 or 4 times while you were listening to this. Oh my God, this would be so good for, and you could fill in the blank. I'm your head brain training misfit. This conversation powered by ketones. I'll see y'all where? At the next event. Till then, bye for now.